Your boy Ink, welcome to the show. We're doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 10th July 2025. Some gorgeous, luscious nature queen. So yeah, I'll check it out. How nice it is. Look at this, bro. Are you kidding me? Super nice. We'll take a picture. That way it lasts longer. And that's pretty much it. Now, before we start with the video, I want to check out something. Oh, but I bring my bottle. Yeah, bring my bottle. I brought my bottle. All eyes on us. Okay, I'm 10, that's huge. I'm soon in lazy mode for longer run. Enough band perk level to get rid of all. I want. And then a couple of auto level to enable night run and perk auto. Thick. My boy. Unlock. Idle. Idle mode. Godspeed, friend. Godspeed, friend. Oh, news. Okay, good. Don't blink, it's your buddy. Welcome to the show. Because I'm having a wonderful day on this 10th July 2025. Today is a great day. We literally just received our bike. As I told you guys, we received the bike. It's actually pretty freaking cool. This is a day 2 of fapping, of no fap, sorry. Of fapping, no. It's been 2,000 something days of fapping. So we just received our bike, which is great. Pretty cool day. We did some shopping, I went out, did my gaming, did a TikTok live, I did some videos, so pretty good day. Plus, we got a massive, and I do mean massive, clean of the storage. So all in all, it's a pretty good day. This day, however, it's not finished, it's only starting. So it's gonna be this, it's gonna be some shooting after that, and then I'm gonna go then a dream. Now, day 2 of NoFap. As I mentioned, sleep was a bit hard to get yesterday. Luckily, I had work. Because I had work, I was able to really like sleep at all, which is great. Also had some melatonin stuck, so we took some melatonin, which is a sleep aid, right? That's pretty much it. So feeling good, feeling a bit spacey. I know I was busy, but time flew. It's 8:16. Again, the first time today that I'm taking a break, so anyway, that's pretty much it. So good day mentally, good day physically, a bit, like I said, a bit spacey, but that's completely normal. And then, even then, I can say, okay, well, this is ADHD spacey, not non-fab spacey. So all in all, one of my better second day. Like I said, I feel like, because I know the hard time, I know the peak and the low, the difficulty level, placebo effect, I visualize myself having a hard time that I'm having, or a easier time that I'm having because I visualize it and it happens. If it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. But hey, all I know is, it's a good day. Who gives a shit about rest? Don't blink, it's your boy Ink, welcome to the show. This is doing more because having a wonderful day on this 10 July 2025 today. I come to you with a funny story, and that is about these donuts. So these are Boston cream donuts my mom gave me. Which when you say, oh, your parents don't trust you, bro, at 32, that's why they're so in your life. They're so present in your life. Mom. Well, actually, we're talking about, I don't even fucking know. Oh yeah, we're talking about a video that we did, an answer to a comment. So somebody saw me sing, and they're not familiar with the channel. They follow me, but I don't see them interacting, so they're possibly new to the channel, right? So I was singing yesterday because I was in a good mood, and I was singing because I'm a nerd, and the person I was talking to, which is Kyle, which is Service Out of Truth, is also a nerd. So I was like, okay, well, let's nerd it out, bro. And then they asked me if I'm a singer as a joke. And I swear to God, it was a joke at the beginning, but then it started making sense. I say, hey, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a worker, I'm an employee, I'm a boyfriend, I'm an ex-boyfriend, I'm a cousin, I'm a lot of things, right? And I'm part of this universe, and you need a figure, right? And it kind of made a lot of sense because when you look at it, when you ask me what I am, right? I think one of the biggest questions, and this is actually pretty cool. This is when you think about it, this is a very interesting concept, right? So as a joke, I was talking about how much I am, right? True title, true label, right? Title and label is the way people describe you. My friends, I'm a friend, right? My father, my mom, I'm a son. For my neighbors, I'm a neighbors. For my boss, I'm an employees. For my coworker, I'm a coworker, you know? So it came at that point, right? And I think one of the biggest questions that you can ask in your life is, who am I? What is this person in front of the mirror? You see here, the tattoo? W-A-I. Who am I? And it's a question that you ask yourself a lot, right? And then the concept came to me, and it was such an interesting thing because it's true. When you ask yourself, who am I? The question to answer is yourself. And depending on the person, they'll ask you. Depending on the person, they'll answer what you represent to them, what you represent, which is a better thing than what you are, right? And then it's so vague and it's so different from people to people that, like, holy shit, what am I? Because I have so many answers, right? So then I said the exact thing they said was like, I'm a son, I'm an ex-boyfriend, I'm a boyfriend, I'm a worker, I'm unemployed, I'm a son, no, I'm a cousin, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, I'm a co-worker, I'm an employee. It was a bunch of things, right? And then I'm an inhabitant of the world, and I'm an inhabitant of the universe. And then the concept itself was the fact that I was so many things at the same time, right? And because kind of that being so many things at the same time kind of lost meaning, right? Because, for example, my father, he's been working the same job for 30 years. My mom, 35 years. And then you ask them what they are, and imagine they're saying like, oh, I'm a dad, or I'm a mom, right? And then, like, holy shit, what about those 35 years? Those 35 years were meaningless, right? They'll tell you what post, what was their job, but ultimately speaking, they're workers, right? Both of them. They're workers. And they've been working their whole life, right? So for their whole life, they have this title. It actually defined them. Those labels, they should define them, right? Saying that I was all of this made me realize how little of each of them I was. Lately, I've been struggling with being ink and being Steph. I've been struggling with that, with a sense of multiple personality, just because I'm being referred to. See, and this is actually, I didn't even think about going there. I didn't even want to go there, but it's actually the same exact thing. For how many of you guys have ink? For so many of you guys, I'm Steph, right? But I'm not of that. Steph was a name that was given at birth, and that was a name that I created, right? I'm not supposed to have a name. Animals don't give each other names, you know? It's just a way to identify yourself. It doesn't represent you, right? So I realized today that even if though I was all of these things, I was all of these things for somebody else. I'm not my own worker. I'm not my own cousin. I'm not my own son, right? I'm somebody else's worker, son. So it all became kind of meaningless. And then, when it became meaningless, I'm sorry, it's itching a lot. Mosquito bites. We spent almost the whole day on the balcony, so it's pretty normal. Because it became so meaningless, then I was looking for some meaning, right? And then the question that itself, that was a stupid answer, but I am me, right? Which is not a label. You are you, I am me. They are them. It's not a label. It's just a reality. Now, who is me, who is you? That's a completely different story, but just to put a label, the label is yourself, right? Because you're all of those things, but you're none of those things. If a neighbor called you son, they say you're not my parents, right? They can be affectionate and call you son because they're older people and say, hey, you remind me of my son, and affectionate, but they don't mean it as a link of blood or an adoptive son. So it loses meaning. So this person that that falls in love every couple of weeks, and you're like, and you tell the girl, hey, I love you. Then you've been around for a while, so she's like, okay, well, you love me for how much time? Do you love me until we break up? Do you love me now? But then when you find another girl, you'll love me. It's complex, right? It's really complex. So being everything but being nothing at the same time, such a cool concept, right? In the grand scheme of things, you being the son, does it matter, right? When you're a kid, your parents are your whole world. So they act as a blueprint, but they also act as an identifying. What I mean by that is actually quite interesting. So when you're a kid, right, people don't know who you are. So they'll say, hey, who are you? Are you the son of this guy or this woman? Then I'm like, no, I'm son of him or her, right? And then, oh yeah, I know them, right? And then you become an adult. And it's like, okay, well, I know what classes you are, right? What class I know what grade you are, right? And then you become a worker, and you become a worker like, oh, this guy knows his job, he's a plumber, he's an electrician, right? And at what point do you become simply this person, this human being? What do we need to describe ourselves with words? What do we feel the need to put a label on it? Why do we feel the need to categorize people into category, right? But even then, at the core, as a human being, this is important. Because at the core, you'll say, I like this person, I don't like this person. This person is nice, this person is not nice. This person is my friend, this person is not my friend. This person is my lover, not my lover. So at the very core of things, you identify. What do they represent for me? And then, ultimately, oh, what the fuck is that? And then ultimately speaking, this feeling of what they represent to me is simply to identify I like this person or not, right? So when you're in a relationship, right, and people are like, hey, what do you like about this person? I'm like, X, Y, Z. And then like, okay, well that makes sense, right? It's tough. And then there's nickname. When you fall in love, you call your partner, you call them baby, you call them my love, you call them hermosa. You call them plenty of names, But this name changes between the relationship, right? Then when you break up with them, you become my ex. My parents separated 26 years ago, well, 27. And they're still calling each other ex. And you realize that they always will be each other's ex. What is wrong with that? I have a problem with the fact that you have this title first, 26 years. Right? Let's say, I'm going to talk about this more, but I got a call from the government today. Right? I got a call from the government today. And they asked me a couple of questions about my files and shit like that, right? And it was actually pretty official, right? And then the only question that she kind of asked that was personal was, we have a criminal file or criminal case. I don't know how you guys call it in English. In French, we call it casier judiciaire. Criminal case or criminal file. Or you're criminal, you're a felon, right? And like, imagine if I was, would the conversation completely changed? Would the conversation completely change, right? And that kind of affected me. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm no criminal, I don't have a court case. My criminal case is that version of my Julio, It's not okay for everybody. And then it becomes more complex. And this is where we're going. For example, there's this guy, right? Or this woman. Let's say a woman. And she's still full, right? And she's still full and she gets arrested. right? And then in Canada, we have this rule: if you steal under if you steal under $1,000, you can have a fine. You can have a fine. You can say, hey, you're not allowed to come here, right? But they're not able to make you to put you in jail, right? However, I had this case about 4 weeks ago. I had this police stop me, and I was nervous because I don't get stopped by police. And so that I was nervous, the police said, could have think he didn't say it, but could have think, why is he so nervous? What is he hiding? He wasn't asked to, so right? And then this person, for example, this woman, that's steal, and she's still, listen what she's still. Couple of cans of soup. Look at this shit. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Holy shit. Couple of cans of soup. Right? Couple of cans of soup. A loaf or two of bread. Right? And then, when you ask her why she did it, I got a family to feed, bro. You know, like my kid needs his money. My kid needs his food. Versus this person who steals because they want to have. I went to my mom before yesterday. I don't know. Wait a second, was it yesterday or before yesterday? I don't even remember. I went to my mom on Tuesday. Today's Thursday. It was before yesterday. And I was. I filmed it so you know it's true. I literally walking. There's this kid. He's a kid. I don't know, teenager or whatever. But to me, he's a kid. I'm 32 years old. I'm an old fuck. You should show me respect. And he's running away. And then he's running, and I'm like, why is he running? And then after that, I'm seeing this woman. And he runs after the guy. It's like, au voleur, which means thief. And then the guy next to me says, I said, shit. The guy next to me said, shit. Her phone got stolen. I don't know if he saw it. I don't know what happened. I'm like, holy shit. And the problem was, it was middle of the day. Well, this is not safe, right? But it takes these two people. The person who stole food because the family was hungry, or the person that stole the phone to sell it. And you ask yourself, wow, that was a beautiful thing. And you ask yourself, in the eye of the law, in the eye of society, they're both criminal. They're both thief. Right? The truth is, when you hear someone that went to jail, the question that you should ask is why. But then society tells you that it's wrong to ask the person why they go to jail, right? Because society tells you that it's wrong to ask somebody why they go to jail, and in your mind you stay with the idea of, I don't know what they did, but they went to jail, so it wasn't pretty serious, right? It sucks. It sucks. That sucks. Un drôle de sujet, c'est la ville natale de la Chine. C'est pas la Chine, c'est pas la Chine, ça te dérange pas. Mais je trouve quand même ça important comme sujet. Fait que récemment, je dirais il y a 2-3 mois, la Chine a une très grande, puis je dis bien, une très grande présence policière. Je suis pas un gars qui sort beaucoup de la maison. Puis quand je sors, c'est ça la nuit, ou le matin très tôt. Pas de police. Puis dernièrement, je fais plus d'efforts pour dire quand il y a du monde. Je suis plus social et plus à l'aise en société. Comme ça on ne devient pas agoraphobe, comme ça on ne devient pas paranoïaque, ou on n'est pas introverti. Par un manque d'exposure à une société. À long terme. Puis j'ai vraiment remarqué qu'il y avait une présence accrue des policiers. Maintenant, pourquoi je dis ça? Je fais des vidéos, puis ça, regarde, c'est tout le documentaire, je le jure. Je suis parti 28 minutes. Je vais t'arrêter 3 fois, peut-être arrêter 2 fois. Pas arrêter, mais interpeller, stopper, peu importe ce que tu veux. Puis là, récemment, encore une fois, c'est arrivé de la fin, il y a 2 semaines, 3 semaines. Encore une fois, je ne sais pas lire la police. Je prends pas un casque. Là, aujourd'hui, je vais être proche d'une grande rue. Puis, il y a. Il s'est arrêté. J'ai content d'être de la police. Mais non, mais avec la police. J'ai jamais eu de problème avec la police. On m'a arrêté une fois pour vrai. J'avais 17 ans pour avoir une arme blanche sur moi. J'étais un petit criminel. Mais j'ai eu le pardon parce que j'étais encore mineur. J'ai eu une amende, c'est tout. Je vais être pas fait de prison. J'ai eu plusieurs tickets par rapport à des feux rouges. Ou j'ai même eu un ticket par rapport à traverser la rue à l'autre endroit. Évidemment, mais ça, c'est au cours d'une 30 dernières années. Je peux compter sur le doigt d'une main. Le doigt d'une main. Même fois, je me suis arrêté. Ou interpellé par la police, peu importe. Si j'arrive à faire la confusion, je dis pas trop. Mais quand même. Puis là, en un mois, j'ai fait 3 fois. La première fois que ça arrive, c'est que j'avais pas de casque. Je me faisais interpeller en entrant au maxi. Je me suis au maxi, vous voyez les vidéos. La deuxième fois, je me fais interpeller pour la même raison. Mais différents policiers. Le premier, vraiment, je m'excuse, c'était un coup de cul. C'était vraiment, il essayait de montrer ce qui est boss, il essayait de montrer ce qui était tough. Tu sais, il me parle, puis là, il est comme, ah, tu sais que je pourrais donner la vente de 300 de casse. Puis c'est pas vrai. De un, de deux, c'est pas très gentil. La deuxième, super gentille, super gentille. Elle m'appelle par mon prénom, super fine. Elle me dit, est-ce que tu sais que je peux donner la vente pour ça? Elle me dit, proche ici. J'ai oui. Elle dit, peux-tu aller à la maison à pied? J'ai mon scooter, j'ai mon cube électrique. Je dis, ok, pas de problème. Il n'y a aucun problème avec ça. C'est ok, peux-tu le faire, s'il te plaît? Et j'ai oui, parfait. Un autre gars qui vient me voir dimanche. Lui, je vous le dis, c'était un gars incroyable. Sincèrement, il y a des policiers qui c'est des trous de cul, mais il y en a qui c'est des gentils. Là. Le gars, il est là depuis. Il se présente tout une fois d'agent. Je ne vais pas le dire dans l'agent parce que sinon le monde il va profiter. Ouais, c'est l'agent, il est très gentil. Fait que je ne dirais pas. Il m'arrive, il me dit, c'est quoi ton nom? Il me dit, c'est lui, pourquoi je t'arrête? Je dis, non, je sais pas. Il dit, tu sais que c'est de toi porter un casque. Je dis, ah shit. Il dit, oui, je suis menti, j'ai dit, je sais pas. J'ai dit, ça fait 2 semaines que j'ai la transmettre qui n'est pas vrai. J'ai pas de facture, j'ai pas d'amende, ça ne tente pas. Puis en plus, j'ai pas de dossier pour l'amende. Mais une amende, un dossier, ça. J'ai des amendes par rapport à des feux rouges, mais le moins de 5 voies que je conduis pas. Et j'ai dit, c'est impossible. Ça va? Mais dans la flèche, je m'en sers. Quand il pourrait juste dire conduite dangereuse sur un motorisé. Tu comprends? Je sais pas ce que les lois. Le gars, il se présente, je suis depuis 19 ans. Il dit, regarde. Puis le gars, il arrive, il est très très gentil. Il me dit, tu veux t'attacher à ton col rue? Je suis dans le programme. Puis là, on parle. Puis le gars, il est extrêmement gentil. Puis là, il m'arrive, puis il me dit, écoute, je suis depuis 19 ans. Il dit, aujourd'hui, je lève passer parce que je t'ai jamais vu. Il dit, pour moi, t'es pas un vrai problème. Fait que là, je suis non. Il me dit, ben, je sais pas si tu vas avoir une amende. Puis, juste pour me montrer un peu gentil, j'ai dit, ah, mais là, je m'en vais chez mon père. Puis si patrouille, moi, je l'appelle après mon père, mais pour 45 minutes. Puis je reviens, tu vas m'empoigner sans casque. Il dit, non, je t'ai vu aujourd'hui, c'est correct. Là, t'es pas gentil. Mais, tout ça, là, c'est pas la vidéo, c'est pas ça. C'est pas les policiers gentils ou pas méchants. C'est que le fait qu'il y ait beaucoup de police. Fait qu'il y ait beaucoup de. Je pense. Quand je te dirais bien ça. Le fait qu'il y ait beaucoup de police, c'est quand même pas bon parce que ça achète mal. C'est une ville tranquille, pas de police. Ben, je suis décollé de police. Je suis toujours de la police. Il y en a moins. Fait que là, j'ai l'impression que parce qu'il y a beaucoup de police, il y a beaucoup de crimes. Quand le crime, je vais voir ma mère mardi. Il y a 2 jours. Dans l'autobus. Le monsieur que moi, il est super gentil, il me dit allô. Je sais pas de quelle origine il est, il me dit allô. Il est super gentil, il est très, très friendly, très communauté, tu comprends? J'aime. Là, je vois un jeune, je sais pas l'âge qu'il avait, mais il va courir, puis il court. Le choqué, il est pressé. Il me demande derrière de lui. Il dit au voleur. J'étais partant qui l'a volé. Fait que là, je dis, oh mon Dieu. Puis là, le gars me parlait en avant, mon collègue d'attente d'autobus. Fait que là, je dis, oh mon Dieu, tu peux croire qu'il l'a volé? 6 heures matin, 6 heures matin, un jour de semaine. C'est pas commode là. Il dit, ouais, il dit, le gars, il a rôdé le proche de moi aussi. Il a rôdé le proche de moi parce qu'il voulait qu'il me faisait voler, mais il a changé aussi. Genre, t'es pas sérieux. T'es pas sérieux. C'est fucking terrible. C'est fucking terrible. Et tout ça pourquoi? pour le cellulaire. T'sais. Puis elle peut me voler aussi. Là. Je dis, moi, pas voler moi. La femme, c'est pas correct. Là. Tu dis, bon, regarde, ma vie est sous dangereuse. Mais tu vois, c'est pas les voitures, pourquoi police, c'est pas. C'est beaucoup, man. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? C'est bon. Mais tu vois, ça, t'es comme, ah, ok, je comprends. Je comprends pourquoi. C'est juste extrêmement dommage. Parce qu'encore une fois, ça résonance la ville, tu vois. C'est que là, je sais pas que ça arrive. La Chine qui s'est en train de devenir plus dangereuse. Y a-t-il une présence criminelle accrue? Parce que tu pourrais comprendre, tu pourrais croire, tu pourrais déduire que la présence accrue de police, c'est une présence accrue de criminels. Je ne sais pas, moi. Je ne sais pas. C'est pas le fun. J'aime pas ça. Parce que c'est mon quartier. Je suis né là-dedans. Ma mère, malheureusement, a déménagé. Pas de la Chine. Ma vie est à la Chine. Je suis né ici. J'ai été baptisé ici. J'ai grandi ici. J'allais à l'école ici. Ma première copine, c'était ici. Mes amis, c'était ici. Ma première job, c'était ici. La ville, je suis né ici. Je suis élevé ici, vraiment. J'aime la Chine. Je pense que ça va être la ville de la Chine. J'ai toujours une certaine fierté à la maison de la Chine. Et j'ai fait ça aujourd'hui. J'ai fait une part d'école, je l'ai fait. J'ai toujours une fierté. Puis avec le point, la Chine, c'est une belle ville. Moi, je vais être proche. Je suis fucking chanceux, man. Je vais être proche de tout. Je vais être proche de l'hôpital. Très proche. Je vais être proche d'une bibliothèque. Je vais être proche d'un marché. Non. Une épicerie. Je parle en anglais là-dessus, c'est pour ça. Je suis vraiment chanceux, souvent. Mais là, c'est d'être là, il y a beaucoup de police, parce que. Tu sais, dans un point de vue, je l'ai arrêté 3 fois pour la menthe. Qu'est-ce que j'ai fait, c'est pas si grave que ça. Pas grave. Malheureusement, hein, au Québec, on a une loi. La loi, c'est que les policiers ont donné un quota d'étiquettes. Je sais pas comment c'est l'étiquette, je sais pas si c'est 10, c'est 10, c'est 30, c'est 30. Le plus de police, le plus de quotas qu'il y a. Le plus de quotas qu'il y a, le plus qui sont sévères. Je suis pas une méchante, c'est comme un chasseur. Puis tu vois qu'il y a 90 serres. Il y a 100 chasseurs. Waouh! Les chasseurs vont pogner des gros caribous de 100 kg. Mais là, il faut pogner les plus petits parce qu'ils n'ont pas le choix. Puis là, même fait qu'ils vont partir les pays vides. C'est ça qui se passe souvent. Je sais pas que ça arrive, mais ça m'inquiète un peu. Anyway, je fabule, je capote. Passez une belle soirée, je vous aime. Bye. It's understood. Okay, we're back. Message. Again, why do I care about dice gaming? Wild. Okay. Don't blink if you're blinking. Welcome to a commercial, because you hope that having a wonderful day. Not feeling the greatest, to be honest. Yeah. Don't know what's wrong with me today. Something is not right. Okay. So today we're talking about government. Which is not something I talk about often, but I want to talk about it. And when I talk about it, usually I talk about it in English, but this is more so something I need advice on. It's more so something I need. Yeah, advice is a good word. C'est conseil, advice in French, rather. So I'm gonna go from the government today. So long story short, a month ago, I was in a call from a company called Bidar Resource, which is an agency, a temporary agency. Say, hey, we found some work for you. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I want to work. But the reality is, Bidar Resource, they weren't hiring me a lot. They were giving me weeks of 30 hours, 40 hours. Then I was doing 1 week out of 4. I was like, what the heck? You know, it doesn't make any sense. Why are you hiring me so much and then so little, right? And then of course they have contracts. They have a lot of people for contracts. So what they're doing is they're trying to do a rotation, right? So they're like, okay, well, guess what? this is important, this is not important, right? But before that, I called the government, and I apply for something called Lighthouse, yeah, which is finance, finance care, something like that, in English. So what it is for people that are working. People that are working, they're like, hey, I'm not making enough. The government, what they do is they give you a little bit, right? So for example, they look at the salary base, which is minimum salary of most people. So for example, right, you're working minimum salary, right, for 40 hours for a month. Let's say out of the month your salary is, I don't know, let's say 1,800, right? Now, Finacare, which is really cool, is a program that will see, okay, well, the normal person, if they're working 40 hours and they're working the minimum salary, they'll make that much. You work, you make that much, he will meet you in the middle. So for example, I work and I make, let's say 800, they'll do the 1,700, minus 800, which is 900, they'll give me 450 per month, right? So it's a little bit of a help, not enough to survive, but it's enough to kind of fill in the gaps, right? So I apply for that. Now, you guys know me, I'm kind of carefree, I'm kind of impulsive, very impulsive actually. So I don't really think about things like that. So today I got a call about this, and they're calling me and say, hey, you made a demand for Finacare. And I'm like, yeah, I did. And then they're calling me and like, are you still looking for help? I said, I got a job. And then they said, oh, is it going well? So I'm missing hours, but I'm still good. So they said you would still apply for Medicare, right? And I'm like, no, not really, because some weeks I'm gonna do 30 hours. So if the financial care is $200 per month, and I know I'm gonna get some hate for that, but I don't care. There's a beautiful song, singing bird. Beautiful. Annoying but beautiful. I think it's a model. Then, I don't know what you're saying. Do $200, $200, you're absolutely right. But there's family that needs way more than I do. I know this person, she's a single mom of 5 kids. She needs cash, right? So I'm on, okay, well, you know what? Kind of works. So she said, do you like the job that you're doing? And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. She said, you know, you can sign up for a course, right? She didn't ask that. She said, because she asked me a question about my past, because I had a diploma in bakery. And it's funny because I talked about that. I talked about this like 2 days ago, which is kind of crazy. She talked about the bakery. And I'm like, are you planning to go back to bakery? And I'm like, ugh, not really, because I did it for a while. Now, is bakery not a good job? It's a beautiful job. It's a very noble job. It's a really fun job. It's a very historical job. I love being a baker. However, I worked for 3 years in bakery and didn't make more than minimum salary. And my question was, dude, I made a course. I got a diploma, bro. Give me a little loan or something, dude. Nope, no. Just same as everybody else. Even people that didn't have a diploma. And are you a better baker? Are you a better worker because of the diploma? No. But you made the extra effort. You went the extra mile to get your diploma. So yes, you should get a low bone, right? Like fuck that. Fuck that. Now, do I believe the same thing? Still believe that's the case. Oh, that's a good question. Well, I had shitty jobs that paid very well, and I had amazing jobs that paid very little. And I would choose a job that were amazing but paid very little, right? No. Or you could go both ways. I'll take the job that is shitty, make a lot of cash, save a lot, then quit. Keep the money for saving and do content, right? Or the slow burn. When there's a job that I really love, but I don't make a lot of money, and I can make content in the background, you know. So I said, she asked me, would you go back to school? And I'm like, not really, I need money. She said, you know, there's a program for, there's a program for schooling, and we'll do it, we'll give you an expert. They'll find out what you're interested in, what you don't mind working in. It's not so much what you want to work in, it's what job would you like, you know. And this is, I learned that very late in life. I learned that maybe 2-3 years ago. No, more than 4 or 5 years ago. And it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're happy, you're good, you know. And she said that we will pay you for that. We will pay you with a program to help people with, again, financial. They go to school. And she even gave me the number I do per week, which is 470 something, right? And then I don't know. Okay, that would be the best thing to do, right? That would be the best thing to do. Go take a course that's paid for, right? They're even willing to pay the bus pass because. Okay, so this is. Oh my God, this is kind of like. Oh, this is a bit of a conspiracy. So when they do that, the reason as to why they're so generous is they kind of push you to a job that nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to do that we need to do. For example, cleaning septic font, some septic font and some septic tank. I don't know what you call it. They'll direct you with that. They'll put you exterminators or killing vermins. They'll push you toward that, right? That's how they get their employees there. Why am I hesitating? Because I could just do the course, get paid, and just leave. It wouldn't be honest, but it would be a possibility. I feel good doing that? Not really. Like, for example, there was a mistake last month, the first. Not last month, the first, so the 1st of July. They didn't charge me for the rent. It was the second, and I went to the third. They didn't charge me. So I went into the landlord and said, yo, you didn't charge me. Oh my God, thank you so much. I didn't even realize that they didn't charge you. But it's all automatic. It's all automatic. You know? And they charged me. I could have said nothing and possibly get away with it. Not free. I kind of felt good about it. Because I was like, oh, that's the right thing to do. You know? The right thing to do. I'm gonna regret this sometimes. But I'm gonna buy some, I don't know. But I'm gonna regret it. So going to school, I'll have to work, right? Now, I'm not against working, I'm against. So why is this a question? Because this is the smart thing to do, right? I have a job right now. So I have a job right now, and you ask me to leave my job to follow a formation to possibly get me a job. Doesn't make any sense. You know? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Super cool person at the phone. She called me. What I don't like is they call you, don't warn you. So with this one, I knew it was the government because it's written government of Quebec. I knew what it was, and she's like, okay, well, you have 30 minutes for me. And I had 30 minutes, but I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. But then she called me in the afternoon when I was awake. She called me early on, I was sleeping, I was not been able to answer directly. I got lucky to call me when they did. If I was at work, I would still be at work because normally I do 10 to 2, sometimes I'm going to do from 12 to 4. I'm at work, I don't have a high time. If I'm at work, the answer to their question is answered. You can find a job. And the weirdest thing is, I told her I had a job. I told her, like, I'm doing this job that I don't have enough hours. And she's like, oh yeah, I can help you. There's somebody that doesn't have a job that can also help. I don't know. You know, I believe that everything is written. Everything that happened is supposed to happen. I believe it's something called fate. Maybe this is fate. I don't know. I mean, the question isn't, but what was the point of taking a course if I didn't end up doing bakery? You know? Now, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but Inc., you just said the formation will be paid for by the government. You're right, you're right. But the dishonest thing to do is to get the formation, peace out. Not even gonna work. It's like being trapped, like, this job on paper look good. On paper, this job looks really good. But, and only but, does it work on practice, right? I was talking with my mom yesterday about driving. Someone that doesn't drive, they ask me to drive. I love my mom though. She asked me to drive, but then she doesn't drive. So then, the plot behind it, it's actually quite funny. Mom asking me to drive. But then you remember that when you had the course to drive, I did a class of drive. On paper, I was good. When it got to practice, I got nervous, you know. And all of this, I got nervous during the cooking. This cooking class, I got nervous during the driving class. I was younger. Is the person that I am today able to do it? Possibly. Do I want to do it? That's a different question. You know? But then back then, it was the focus of what people want. Now it's the principle of what Inc. want. But it's very different because when I make videos, I'm trying to please you guys. I'm still a people pleaser. Just a different way. I don't know. So now, because this is the end of the video, what do you guys think? What is the right answer? What is the right option over here, guys? Help a brother out. I don't know. I'm fucking out it. Pros and cons, gentlemen. Pros and cons. What is the best possible option? And then, even then, if I'm being completely honest, I feel selfish to be the best possible option. Because this place, at a school, information could be used by somebody that really needs it, right? But then fuck this because my tax are paying for it. If my tax are paying for this, I'm allowed to get it. I'm entitled to get it. Why not, right? I don't know. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. You're already 4. You're already 4. What in the fuck, dude? What in the fuck, dude? But thanks for all the sacrifice. Cause I'm ashamed of the thing that I said. I'll do whatever it takes just to get her in bed. But kinda sucks when you're only a kid. But you grow up to learn that the scars are kinda permanent. And I haven't had one drink in 3 whole years. There's no need for drinking when you're not here. Do you find it amusing? I'm seeing clear. This time I was here. So come on, we're not getting any younger than us. We're the gracious host and you're the parasite. Anyone else, take me out. Cause I'm a mess when I'm alone. And if anyone can, I think I'm losing it. I got my problem with my self-control. Hold on, honest. I've been sex tonight, and she's got the dress on, you know, the one that shows all the things that she can do to me. And I'm taking lesson on not to beg for sex. It's just a side effect we're feeling from the ecstasy. So come on, we're not moving any but younger tonight. You're the gracious host, and I'm the parasite. Anyone else, take me out. Cause I'm a mess when I'm alone. And if anyone can't help, this I just said I got no problem with my self-control. Hold on, anyone honest, all this fine. No sex tonight. And she got a dress on, you know, one that shows all the things that you can do to me. And I got a question, I'm not to beg for sex. Okay, enough. Let's go. Last video of the day. Let's fucking go, Inky. John Blink, Shabaying, with no moon, look at the dream because I have a fantastic day on the 10th July 2025. Last video of the day. Can I get a woot woot? No, you guys are rude as fuck. What the fuck? You guys are rude. What the fuck? Today we're talking about a subject which is garbage TV. And, ladies and gentlemen, I got a lot to say. So take a drink, take a seat, grab a popcorn, grab your drink, choice, Jack, drink. Experience of choice. If you want to go on a bit of green, go a bit of green. Don't want to go, then fucking don't go, dude. Hell yeah. No to green, bro. What the fuck? So today we're talking about garbage TV. So, I made a bunch of videos today about garbage TV, which is Jersey Shore and Simi Valley. Now, Simi Valley I just discovered. Jersey Shore I've been watching multiple times. Jersey Shore is actually my next recap or review show, which is kind of hot, kind of morbid, kind of chill, bruh. So, that being said, why are you so attached to garbage TV? Because this is garbage TV, right? So I've been watching a lot lately of Operation Repo. Now I made a video about Operation Repo. Why yo quiero yo amo Operation Repo for obvious reason. Even though it's scripted, even though it's fake, it's actually super entertaining. It's actually quite funny with Louis calling Pizzoli, calling I'm gonna call the cops, pepper him, or Matt saying Matt getting angry. Pretty funny, you know. Why do we care about this? Well, because we were raised on that shit, right? Now, again, there's gonna be multiple parts of the story, so please follow, don't judge. We'll get somewhere, somehow, some way. You know, say como fach. I grew up watching shows like Trailer Park Boys, which is garbage TV. It's a show, a mockumentary on people living in a trailer park, trying to be trailer trash. But then years later, I'm watching a YouTube channel called Trailer Trash Danny. Usually I'm still watching the same shit. Watching a show about Kenny vs. Penny, which is one of the shows that taught me the most about life. But then, Kenny vs. Penny is what? It's a show about two best friends trying to humiliate each other, right? It's not the most glorious of things. I grew up watching Maury Povich, Jerry Springer, Steve Wilkos, garbage show about garbage people. Some of them were range, some of them weren't. Some of them were really disgusting, you know? But then why did we watch that? Why were we so entertained by this, right? Do I think that Jerry Springer is the best? Yes, because of his Jerry thoughts again. Sorry, Maury. Not sorry, Steve Wilkos. Did you see what you became, bro? On TikTok, bro? Shit. You had a whole ass career, bro. You could have been a judge, bro. What's happened? I'm just kidding, of course, but still. But then, you realize how much of a majority of shows you watch are garbage TV, right? Then, the question is, what is garbage TV? And there's no definition to garbage TV. Something that can be garbage for me, can be garbage for you, cannot be garbage for you. And you'd be like, no, it's not garbage show, it's a show that I love. Right? Or anime garbage TV. Wearing an anime hat, bro. Is it garbage TV? Not really. But for people, it is garbage TV. And there's some anime that are garbage TV. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yesterday, I was preparing for work. Set on YouTube, right? I went on YouTube. And I did a big sacrifice. The biggest sacrifice you could do. My soul. Illuminati confirmed. Not really, but still. We found an audiobook that is 2 days long. The first thing that I did, started it. Why? I didn't even know the show was gone. It was good. And if it's not good, am I willing to wait to watch it for 2 days straight? I don't know. Why was I entertained by garbage TV? You know, Operation Repo is the one I watched the most lately. It's just super funny. Jersey Shore. They were just funny, fist pumping. We're a bunch of douchebags. You care about those douchebags. You care about that Lou Pizarro and Sonia Pizarro. Rest in peace. You care about Carlos. Rest in peace. You care about Matt and Froy. You care about Carlos. Rest in peace. Talk about Ron. You care about Ronnie, right? And then the only reason we watch Operation Repo is because we watch Desert Lake Towing, which we love because of Amy, Bobby, and of course Ronnie. I fucking love that show. Desert Lake Towing, are you kidding me? That was the shit. There was 2 boys going to get repos, fucking over people that deserve to be fucking over. Right? It was great. It was justice. It was Robin Hood. Swamp version, right? Jerry Springer. It was people that had humongous problem. People that couldn't function normally in society. They were human beings. They were human beings. They were family members. They were son. They were daughter. They were parents. They just went through something, right? And then Jerry Springer, when it was the beginning of the show, was very controversial. They had clan member, Ku Klux Klan member. They had gay people at the 80s when gay people weren't accepted, gay people would get beat up in the streets. You have them on the show, right? Because they want to make a statement, they want to make, like, everybody's welcome on that show, right? And then you watch TV locals where there's literal abuser, predator, right? And then, of course, Steve says, I want to fuck you up. You still have them on your show. You still have them on your show. You still have them on your fucking show. Yes, you're denouncing it. Yes, you're exposing. Bravo. You're showing how much of a piece of shit they are. Bravo. But you're having them on your show. And get monetary gain. The shittier the person, the more views. The more views, the more... Yes. The whole thing is quite insights. We have this because I have mosquito bites, and instead of itching and shit like that, it's better. It's like a back scratcher, if you will, for the whole body. There was this guy on Dr. Phil, and he was doing some bum fights. He would pay bum to fight, and then he would give them money. And then Dr. Phil's like, why are you doing that? And the guy went to the show, just like Dr. Phil. Now, the plan behind it was to make fun of Dr. Phil, right? Was it? No. You know what the plan was? To show that Dr. Phil was a very same person. Person like Helen, who for 15 years, for 20 years, for no matter how many years, she got Maury. Ellen DeGeneres was seen as America's sweetheart. She's a fucking asshole. Allegedly, of course. Right? I don't really like watching it because she was so nice. She wasn't nice. Why do we watch shows like My Car, Wife Swap, Celebrity Big Brother itself, Trash TV? You're paying attention for months to people you'll never see again. It's a Dutchman, like, oh, I love this guy. I hope he gets far. And the next year, you do the exact same thing for other people. Why do we do it? Why do we do it? Why do we do it? Right? Why is everything so entertaining? A show like The Office. We should talk about today. A show like The Office, right? Which is a normal show for The Office. And you're like, bro, shit.